Call the meeting to order at 6:36. I just want to remind you all of two things. First, we're being recorded. That's the policy of all the Zoom meetings. So behave yourselves. And then for any votes that we have to take, we have to do a roll call. So we'll go back to hand raising when we're in person again, but I have to do the roll call vote. I don't see any other members of the public, so public participation, we'll jump past that. And then approval of minutes from April 21st. I don't know if everyone had a chance to take a look at those, but if, does anyone have any changes that they would like to make, or anyone have a motion to approve?
Approve.
Me too. Thank you. Okay, so going down the roll call, I'm just going to take you in order as I see you on my screen. So for approval, Pina.
Approve.
Okay. Matthew.
Aye. Approve.
Rich.
Aye.
Isabel.
Approve.
Amy.
Abstain where I wasn't present.
Oh, okay. And Jen.
Approve. And Benny is joining.
And Benny is joining currently.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
That's all right. How are you, Benny?
I'm okay. I lost track of time.
Well, that's okay. I've done that many times. All right.
Amy, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know, I can't see you. Can I like turn off my video so you can't see
No,
me?
I
Oh, now
just
see you.
turned it on.
Okay, all right, I'll leave it on.
You might have to scroll if you're only seeing like 4 people at a time, Amy.
Yeah, no, I can
Okay.
scroll and see everybody.
Okay.
There you go. Benny, I was just saying, I have to take a roll call of any votes that we do, and we were just voting to approve the minutes. Are you in favor of approving the minutes from last month?
So I have a question about this because last month somebody brought up the fact that if we aren't sworn in, we can't vote. And since town hall's not open, I haven't been sworn in. I haven't like confirmed this fact with somebody.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Does anyone else know?
Sherry mentioned that last month. That's the only like place that I got that information from.
Okay.
It's probably somewhat similar to my situation in that since a replacement hasn't been appointed, that person that's currently still in the role can fill it, and it just happens to, for Benny, it happens to be the same person. So
I'm
You're replacing
filling my own role.
You're subbing in for yourself.
Now that is some high quality bureaucracy.
It's an interesting question because I don't know if I get re-sworn in. I don't know what happens, but if you have time, I would just call Betsy at the town clerk's office tomorrow, because if you call her and tell her you're coming, they're still doing stuff. So she'll like come out or tell you, maybe she can do it over the phone. So if you just call her in the morning, she can tell you what they've decided.
I think that sounds, I've been meaning to call her, and just every day I forget about it, and then it's like 5 o'clock at night and I'm like, oh, funny that it's too late now.
Chi-Chi's trying to get on.
Okay.
Oh, is she not able to?
I'm sending her the link again.
Okay.
So she'll be.
Okay. All right, we'll keep going. So one thing that I just wanted to go over with everyone in the policies and procedures, and Rich was the one who pointed out, so our elections were supposed to be this month. We were, Isabel, Benny, and I were elected. It's an illegitimate election, I'm sorry. So if people go around town with bumper stickers saying "not my WHRC chair," I'll forgive them. But we were talking about, in terms of like the transition, it makes things like the current person, if they're like in Rich's position, he would be finishing out his term, but not the chair anymore. Anyway, we were wondering if it made more sense to switch the policies and procedures to to reflect an April election so that the new chair can take over for the May meeting. And when the terms have also taken over, have also started, if there are new people coming on or other people who have left. So that was the only change. And so it just seemed to make more sense. But if anyone's opposed to that, then please let me know.
Well, the issue with that would be then the people who are on the commission, like new people on the commission, wouldn't have voted for the chair and the vice chair, and so people who are leaving would have voted, but the people who are just coming wouldn't have, right? Right. So if Billy, that's a big person, we're joining the commission this month, right? He wouldn't have had the chance to vote for the person who's the chair.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all here last month.
Including Sherry.
Yeah, Sherry was here. Rich's replacement wasn't here last month either, you know. So
I mean, my point is that for like right now, I don't know that it makes a lot of difference, but
Right.
for like as a policy,
Okay.
that would be the issue there, right?
Well, the situation into is theoretical, and this was the first time because we're now cycling through, a couple terms and things like that. Is what happened in my case is theoretically my term was supposed to end April 30th, and I wasn't planning to continue on, and so there would have been nobody theoretically in the chair position for the May meeting. So you really do have to have some type of transition if that scenario comes up. You could run into this scenario where you don't have people that start until May 1. But I don't know, you also have this other scenario where you could have somebody who's terming off and then you potentially don't have a chair for your May meeting. I don't know how you cover both of those scenarios.
Well, I think if that's what you did, you would elect the chair. That would be the first thing you do, I guess, at the May meeting, right? So who's ever sort of the senior member would just run the meeting until a new chair is elected. Maybe Maureen, what does the town council do in this kind of situation?
So we take the vote once the new, we traditionally vote the next meeting after the election. It's hard because you guys don't have an election per se, right? You have appointments. So, but I do think I don't know, it's hard for new people then to take a vote. It's hard for them to actually know. So maybe you just keep it April and you guys are all deciding for the next year, it's Maria and Isabel instead of in May when there's a replacement. I don't know.
Well, I guess what's the likelihood that is there a likelihood that the new person coming in would be voted into an officer seat that first time? Probably not. So then it's still going to be of the existing people. But I get what you're saying, Matthew, that if they can't weigh in on who's going to be their chair when they come in, I guess.
Right. I mean, I don't think most people care, right? I mean, it's just how you set the policy.
Yeah. Would it make more sense to change the policies that the vice chair will, just to put it as a formal procedure, to just say at the beginning of the May meeting, the vice chair will initiate the election, and then if it is the vice chair who ends up being the chair, obviously they'll just continue, and if not, then they just take over from the point that the chair is elected.
And who puts together the agenda and stuff for that meeting then? Does the outgoing chair put together the meeting for the agenda for the May meeting?
I think
Well,
outgoing
I
chair.
would think because there's still the chair, or maybe the vice chair does, or whoever the senior officer is that's not retiring. I mean, it could be that the vice chair is retiring too.
Right.
Right.
Hey, Amy.
Yes, sorry. I'm so sorry. Yep.
It's okay.
you repeat the question? I was typing.
Oh, no, no, no. You're allowed to
We
type.
just could hear your typing. It was, so I was asking if you could mute.
Mute you also.
You know what? I'll mute myself in case my phone rings or something. Let me mute myself because I'm like multitasking here.
Yeah, don't
Sorry.
worry about it. Yeah.
So is the issue that there is no specific, like it's not specified in our policies and procedures when the elections take place?
No, it is specified as April.
Oh, okay.
No, it's May.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. It's specified as May.
Got it.
But yeah, as Rich said, assuming there was a replacement and last month had been his last meeting, then if we hadn't had the election last month, the question is who would start the meeting, who would put together the agenda for the meeting, who would, yeah. So.
I don't know. At first, I think I misunderstood the question because I was like, I think it was good the way we did it, but I guess that wasn't.
Yeah.
We did it when you said like, I don't think I caught that was what you meant by the illegally elected or whatever. Because I was like, oh, it's because Sherry couldn't vote. Like I didn't know.
No.
So yeah, I don't know. I think
we just I think the idea of having, like in this situation, we're in a tricky situation just because Rich was just step down, whatever you're doing, Rich. That was one thing that presented itself. And then the school committee didn't have a plan. That was another situation. So there was a bunch of things like coming in place. That was part of the vote. I think there's another. Then we had, the question of can Sherry vote and not vote? That was part of the confusion too we had last month. I think another piece, so, how are we tabulating votes? I have another question too, and this doesn't have to do with you, Maureen, because I think this has to do with just how we are voting, but do ex facto members on our commission vote? Are they able to cast votes? And how does that work? Like when we are counting our votes on something, what happens with that? Because I think that may make things look differently than what we are doing.
Ex officio members don't get a vote.
Okay.
Sorry, this is my 9th hour of Zoom call, so
yeah, don't worry.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm going back.
You're just used to this, yeah. You're just voting, yeah.
All right.
But the student member, the clergy member, and the police officer member all vote.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just clarifying.
Yeah.
I knew that.
I think it might be fine to leave as is then. Maybe this was just a one-time occurrence, and if you have a backup plan where the vice chair leads that meeting, if somehow the chair is not there anymore, then you'll have the new members on. Theoretically, if they're sworn in, you would have them on board for then.
Okay. All right. So,
I mean, do we need to add, I don't know that we need to add something. Do we need to specify that? Like in the case that the chair is, outgoing, then the vice chair will take over. Do we need to add something like that to the policy and procedures? Or is that just sort of a given?
I think we kind of have that for most things, and being the role of the vice chair. I'm not sure we need to specify that particular situation.
I'm cool with that. Yeah.
okay. All right. So the next one, in terms of the financial review, it's really just one fact. I just wanted to let everyone know that we have $645 in our fiscal year budget left to spend. And I know we have a lot looking at for Pride Month, and we can get the update about that, but we'll see, I guess, after we do that update, if there are other things that we should be doing to spend down the budget, then we can talk about that. But let's do the Pride Month update first, and then we'll figure the rest out, unless anybody has any questions about the finances.
The 649 has to be spent before the end of June or before June 1st?
Before the end of June.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, whoever, I don't know who wants to give us the update from the Pride subcommittee.
I'm opening. Okay. I can. Okay. So we met. It as the Reverend and Chichi and Pina for the subcommittee, and I can tell you the updates. It's probably easy if I share my screen. Okay. And this is basically the same thing I share with you. We discussed last time about the grant, the Cultural Council, and we considered the idea of having a virtual concert. The four of us, we want to hear your opinion, but we were thinking of saving the money for next year because they are extending the money for an extra whole year. The only question pending is if we extend that money, are we able to apply for another grant for a different event, or we are completely disqualified, right? But it's up in the air. So, I mean, you can have another ideas. We talk about Alistair Mook and everything, but kind of the consensus among the four of us is people are Zoom out right now. Mm-hmm. They're tired. And Facebook Live and everything, like for a concert. It's great what he does, but so that was what we discussed in our subcommittee. I don't know if anybody has any questions as far as that, or not yet. Okay.
I would just add, Isabel, that one of our concerns, in addition to being Zoomed out, was that we didn't know if there would be money available in future years, given that there will likely be budget cuts because of this year. And so it seemed better to bank the money and hold on to it than to spend it now and then not have it available when we would want to have a more robust program.
Okay. And do we already have the check?
No, because it's in a reimbursement form.
Oh, okay.
Somebody fronts the money and they reimburse. Okay. We talked about that last time a little bit because they do take a while to reimburse. It was 4 or 5 months because it was when summer started, they didn't meet. So maybe we can use our funds instead of one person because it was $600 or something.
Yep.
Okay. So that was, but I mean, we are open. That was what we thought. I have good news regarding the flag raising. We are allowed to raise the pride flag.
Great.
Yeah, it was good news. They were very supportive, actually. So we pick as a group June 1st. It's actually a Monday, 6 o'clock. It all depends on where we are as far as social distancing. But if possible, we would like to be all of us and invite town council and the school committee if it allows to have as many people, and invite Chief Scory. Well, he is our ex officio, but especially invite him and Steve Mayo and the superintendent. And the other two people we thought about it is Mary Eldridge and Bob. That will be anybody else can go and be further, but
right. And
if it is not appropriate because we don't really know what's going to happen, it could be 3 or 4 of us, and then invite somebody from town council, somebody from the school committee, and that's it. If it's a concern, or if it's gonna be a problem, right? So we are going to have a small ceremony. The idea is that we share that online in social media, in our Facebook page and in the town channel. What else I have as far as that? Just I fill you in, the only 2 requests the town had is that we only fly one flag. It's just a problem to try to like, because we talk about the trans flag or other flags, it can only be one flag under the US flags. And the good news is that we don't have to buy anything because they had the one that Frankie bought last year.
Oh, great.
Okay. And then somebody from the Department of Public Works is the person that has to raise the flag.
Mhm.
And that's fine. Steve Mayo was supportive as far as that. He told me that, and he just told me to give him heads up, and somebody will be supporting us.
Can I ask about you talked about like Facebook Live or social media. Would that be something that we would engage with WCAT for, or is that something we would just do on our own with somebody going live as the HRC for our page?
We didn't talk about that.
Okay.
So that's a really good point. We didn't make that, but I'm gonna write it here, okay? Like a amendment. I don't know. I will figure out. So what will be the name? Anyway,
just check with WCAT if that's something that they could cover. Maybe
that will be the best.
Yeah,
I believe so. And then we talk specifically about you, Jen, in a little bit, because or Maria, or like the people that are always bringing the family friendly part. You know, we are planning to hand out flags, not hand out, leave them on a table, something that is responsible. But if little kids like Maria's or yours or mine can have the flag already, you know, it's any kid that is there, it's inclusive. It's as much as we could do as, so I don't know. It will be, I don't know if you have other ideas.
Is that can I ask, because I think last meeting we talked about having like flags for people's yards. Is that flag that you're talking about, or just like the littler ones to just hold in your hand?
Can I jump in?
Yes, please.
Sorry, I'm late, by the way. So the flags are 12 by 18 inches.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so a decent size, you know, not a little thing that you just wave with your hand.
Right.
Certainly something that you could, you know, stick in your lawn that, you know, would get through probably the month of June, assuming we don't have any, you know, hurricanes or anything, or something you could stick in a plant or something like that. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
And then because of social distance, anybody that has kids probably want to be even more away, which is fine. We thought this is up for discussion, but we thought having very short speeches, and we thought that Chichi can introduce something. Then we thought about inviting, who was Pina? Was it Anne?
Yeah.
Anne Santos. And then we thought about having the Reverend doing the final words. Very short, but meaningful. That worked very well last year. So that's what we have as far as the flag. But so those are good news.
And then have the table to give out, excuse me, and then to have a table that with a couple people giving out flags.
Yeah. Pina is in charge of that. Pina is in charge of that. Remember? Very important job. Yes.
Good job.
And we will have to find a way to make it safe, right? We cannot really hand them out at a table, or we can get creative. Hello, Sherry. Okay. What else? The cost of small flags is actually not bad. It's actually pretty good. Chichi, you want to update them on that?
Yes. So I was in touch with the company is flagimporters.com, and so I spoke with someone there today, and if we get 800 flags, they are 85 cents a piece, and if you ordered online, there was quite a hefty delivery fee, which was like $74 or something like that. But because I was talking to her and all that, that came down to $45. So
yes,
it would be right around $300 with shipping. Again, for 300 flags.
300 flags.
800 or 300?
Three. We got that, 300?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And just So they have the regular pride flag. They have tons of different flags, but they have the regular pride flag, and then they also have the one that's called the Philly rainbow flag, and that's the one that just has the added black stripe and added brown stripe. So we can, if we'd like, do a mixture of those two, or 300 of one of just one, or whatever we want. So that's something for us to decide. Do we want to have just the regular rainbow, or again, do we want to have the one that has the additional black stripe and additional brown stripe, or some, or some of the one that
the one with like the extra like triangle on it.
It does not. No, inclusive? That's not the one. Okay. They do have those, but those are like $2.50 a piece.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. So if we want to stay at the 85 cents a piece, it's either the traditional or the one with the brown and black stripes, but not the transsexual triangle, or transgender rather triangle. So. Oh, also, I'm sorry. Also, they would be here in like 5 to 6 business days. So that's good. I mean, we need to move, but we don't need to pay any extra for shipping, expedited shipping or anything. So.
So we should do it soon, though.
Oh yes, exactly.
Yeah, like today. Okay.
Like tomorrow would be nice.
Okay. And thank you, Chichi, for that.
Sure.
Okay, and then as far as the month, we thought about a creative way of celebrating during the month. June seems like a very nice month that it starts with a Monday, very friendly month. It's Monday the 1st, and our idea is to use Facebook. Really, we could partner with the town too with what we have, but primarily Facebook, to have 2 set events. There is the Monday Kids Corner event and Wednesday Wisdom. Okay, so in Monday's Kids Corner, I'm gonna let Chichi talk about the books, but we thought that several people, these are just ideas, it's not said, we haven't even talked to the speakers, so this is very tentative. But we thought about having some of us, people from the town, reading short stories to kids.
Yep.
And Chichi is the one that chose the books. The idea is that a person reads the book, and then we're gonna raffle those books on Friday. So people don't have to go to the Facebook event on Monday. They just can watch it whenever. Right. And the only thing they have to do to participate is just send us a message to our email, in the town email, or on Facebook, and they just said, I want to participate. As simple as that. And we will do the raffle on, did we say Thursday or Friday? I forgot.
We said Thursday.
Okay. And we will find ways to deliver the book to the interested people. And I will let Chichi talk about the books in a second more. And our Wednesday event is the Wednesday Wisdom. And we thought about finding bits and pieces or interesting story about the LGBTQ movement, moving pieces. It could be moving, it could be serious, it could be funny. We thought about also make it cultural representative. We were gonna ask Christina to read something related to the Creole or the Haitian culture or something. I was gonna talk about Richard Blanco, the 5th inaugural poet, since he's Cuban and American, and well, he represents many values, etc. So here, I don't know if you can see there, these are the persons we thought about that can read. We thought about you, Maureen. We haven't asked you, so this is the first time you hear it. Maybe if you want to participate and you have something to tell us or to bring us about, it could be anything. It could be related to the Muslim war or something that is meaningful to you. And on Friday, we're gonna announce who are the winners, and we're gonna share resources, like the books from NAGLI or other resources. So Chichi can tell you more about the books.
Okay. So I did a lot of research, about all of the best kids books out there for, with the LGBTQ theme. So the the folks on the subcommittee with me gave me free rein here. So the age ranges go from like, one of the books is like toddler to kindergarten, and then they go from like kindergarten to 4th grade. So anywhere for ages like 2 to 8, depending on the book, but nothing really older than that. So the first one that we're hoping to do on the 1st is called something like, I had them in front of me before, but I don't right now, but something like Pride, the life of Harvey Milk and the origins of the Rainbow Pride flag. So obviously in keeping with raising the flag on that evening. And then we have one called Introducing Teddy. It's very cute. Teddy bear who was Thomas the teddy bear, but he really always felt like he was Tilly the teddy bear. So it's very cute. And then From the Stars in the Sky to the Fish in the Sea, that's not like sort of very specifically LGBTQ, but it's very much about kids being able to be anything and everything they want to be. So it's just very, but it's very, very good. And then Antango makes 3 that you may have heard about, either that book or something about it. So the Central Park Zoo in New York, there were these male penguins who became a couple. And then there was other penguins who, a penguin couple who couldn't really take care of their egg. So they gave this egg to these 2 male penguins to raise as so they could become a family. And again, very cute. That's actually that's a board book. That's really for the youngest crowd. Very cute. And then the last one is called Prince and Knight. And it's a pretty typical fairy tale. It sort of has that rhyming cadence of a fairy tale. And the prince's parents want to marry him off, but he's not exactly looking for the same kind of bride that they hope. And he comes back to save his homeland, his kingdom from a dragon, and the other knight who helps him turns out to be the love of his life. So again, so anyway, I think they're good. I think people will be, I hope people will be pleased with them. Yeah.
Those look fantastic.
Sound great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Is Hannah your child?
She
like
is.
who's reading? Or, so
well,
you guys
that
said...
is mine. Hannah is mine. She's would love to do that. Of course, she helped me look for the books and took a special liking to that one. So. So we
and is Julie
Yes.
Smith Galvin or?
Yep.
Okay.
Some of the readers they're tentative right now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we're waiting confirmation on.
This is great. I like the variety of, and I like the Mr. Carter for the Teddy one. I'm assuming that was Isabel.
I was talking about him that we are in the same school in the Woodville, and I mean he's loved by the parents, by the kids, and the teachers. I mean he
is Mr. Carter the principal?
Yeah, he's the new principal. He's just an amazing guy, and I haven't asked him. He has a very brand new baby, but I think he will say yes.
It'd be really nice, obviously, to have an educator, as one of the readers.
Chi-Chi, do you want to? So we had decided this, and then I had this flash of concern about copyright issues, like because you're not normally allowed to broadcast copyright material. So Chi-Chi did a little research on that today.
I did, and Pina jumped in and helped me out, which was terrific. And she actually made connection with the library, which which was great. So for the most part, publishing companies they have just loosened all of their restrictions around permissions and that kind of thing in light of COVID-19. I mean, they want educators and others to be able to use their books and be able to use them virtually the way we're all communicating. So if you go to their websites, let's see, certainly there's a website called Bloomsbury that one of the books comes from, and that was the first one I found. They made it very clear that the restrictions were loosened. You know, there's certain things they just want you obviously to, you know, name the title of the book and the author and the publishing company and that sort of thing. And then they want you to take it down off whatever sites you have it by like the end of June, sort of when the school year would be over. And so Simon & Schuster and Random House had the same loosening of the restrictions. There are two other smaller publishing houses called Arsenal Pulp and Little Bee Books, and I've sent emails and made phone calls to those folks. So I expect to hear, back from them and just sort of confirm. But I'm pretty sure that they're going to be on the same page as the other publishing houses. So I think it was it was definitely a concern, and it was I'm glad Matthew thought of it. None of us had, but I'm also thrilled to think that we can still do it without a lot of rigmarole and paperwork and that kind of thing. So I think we're in a good place for that.
Do you have any questions, suggestions?
Oh, this is great.
One. Just about the flag raising. I don't know if it's a concern about the date because it's so soon, or just the size of the group. I mean, I just want to be conscious that obviously, Memorial Day is coming up. The town is not doing any of their traditional Memorial Day activities, and so I think if you did want to do it on the 1st, I would really try to keep the group very limited, or if you did want to try to have more people, maybe a later date might allow for that. But I don't think we'd really want to try and encourage anyone from the general public to come. I'd hate to see this turned into a why is the town doing this and not doing other stuff. So I feel like better if we either kept it really, really limited to just the chair or vice chair and keep it really as modest for everyone's benefit, and just to be sensitive to the other events that the town is not able to have.
I also was going to echo what Rich says. So we have a town council meeting next Thursday. And so I can raise this and see the response, but right now you're not supposed to have gatherings of more than 10 people. I don't know as a town if we're going to extend that a little bit. Like, I know the governor always has done his own thing. So, I would also, depending, just be sensitive of keeping it under 10 people and like not doing publicity for it before. But I can bring it up at Thursday's meeting, because we also we gave like, just of a time-wise thing, like we gave permission to the pride flag, but we're actually going to have to revote on it anyway on Thursday because it didn't get on the agenda in time. But that was only my concern. Like, I think it's great. I think like, after Thursday, I can get back to you guys and just say like, if Steve and the town council is kind of recommending that it just be like, a 3-person sort of, you guys go there, take some pictures, and then we promote the heck out of it. Or if there is a way of including others, I will report back.
Maureen, do you need these minutes directed to you officially, or because I can post it officially with Sherry today, or do you need anything written? No. I mean, I think we were all there last year, right? And so we all kind of know what it looks like. And just to say that it would be great to have some sort of ceremony, but we understand. I don't know what the rules are going to be on public gatherings, so I can talk about, and it might just be a behind the scenes conversation. So let me just check in with the new chair and Steve and see what they're thinking.
and then I will get back to you guys.
Okay.
But if the limit's still 10, you could still do, the three of you on the subcommittee plus the chair and, of the town council and the school committee, the people that you said, that'd be under 10. And I don't know if then the WCAT crew, if they were there, if that would be too many, but you could still promote it as we're doing a virtual live stream of the flag raising with the small people, but nobody come to us. But I think then you still have the concern of how do you pass out the flags and when do you do that? So I think that's the bigger question for me is if we want to buy these flags and distribute them, how do we do that? And when do we do that? Where do we do that?
Yeah, I mean, that was only going to be one location and opportunity to get these flags to people. But you're right. We certainly we need to figure out.
In our previous meeting, not this last one that Isabel's updating us on most, but we had one prior. We talked some about the flag distribution situation, and what we had thought was making them available at certain locations at certain times. So it would be like people would just pick them up, at various locations. So like my church was one option. I mean, it wouldn't be like 24 hours a day. It would be like on certain days they'd be available in this spot, other days they'd be available at another spot, that kind of thing. And people would just pick them up. Not even really staffed. I don't think, maybe a little staffed, but not too much.
Yeah, we mentioned the idea of distributing them on Wednesdays when they distribute food at schools, but we'll have to check all the permissions with with the student, town council and student everybody, school committee for that. But that will be a good place to leave flags, and if people choose to pick them up, they can have them. That was the other place, but yes, we need to consider that.
Irene, can I ask you a question? If we talk with town council about it, so do we have to also go through Board of Health, or is it if once we ask town council, like that's the body that decides?
So the limiting of public body was actually, I think, our policy. I mean, I think it all goes through Steve, but I think we decide.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to
no
also go through them. Okay, good.
I think you're going through us. I really don't know what we're going to do with the limit of people. I think what Jen was saying, like, I think try to just keep it under 10 anyway, but I don't even know, I worry a lot about optics. We just, when we're just trying to, like, not that we're trying to be somber, but just trying to be respectful. And, last year you guys got such a great crowd there. I just don't want all of a sudden we have a lot of people and then, people are yelling that people aren't wearing masks or aren't social distancing. Like, I don't want to give people an opportunity to make what should just be like this, like, prideful moment for our town be like, look, they're not following the rules. And, like, even though we're doing everything we should. So it's totally on us. I will talk to Anne about it and Steve about it and see what we can work out.
I think that your WCAT crew is going to be included in the number, because even in stores like Market Basket, they have to include staff in their number limits.
Yeah. And we don't even know if they would be available. I mean, it could be as simple as somebody taking their cell phone and filming you guys doing your speeches and having it stream live or whatever.
Wouldn't a filming crew, though, couldn't they be at a significant distance to as not be part of our group?
Could be, if they have a good, wide enough lens and the microphone set up and stuff.
I mean, yeah, I was just kind of assuming that, they wouldn't want to be right on top of it anyway. They would want to have a little distance, to see the flag raise and all that. Anyway, just my 2 cents.
Also, indoors would be different, certainly, than outdoors.
Right. I mean, this is outside in front, and you could spread people out, especially if you only have like 6 people there or whatever your numbers were.
Yeah, but I think
They-
Marine's and Rich's point was more related with the optics, right?
Yeah.
We're not having a Memorial Day, and we're trying to avoid the negative publicity to something that should be good. I think that was what you tried to say, right? More
Yeah.
than the guidelines.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't even think WCAT has filmed anything from abroad in the last from afar in the last 2 months either. They've just all been working
virtual.
remotely, and doing like Zoom. So they actually, they haven't really gone to anything either. So again, I don't know if like starting June 1st, we will lessen some of those rules. So let me get back to you. But I know normally on Veterans Day, we put flags on all the vets' gravestones, and the Boy Scouts aren't doing that.
Right.
They're trying to find volunteers to do it. And so I care more about optics, but at the end of the day, like, I just care that I want the flag up there for the full month, which will happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are things. So I mean, okay, let's wait and see what Maureen finds out, and then if we can't like all be there in person, and it's just going to be one employee of the Civic Center raising the flag, we could consider, still filming that, having one person be out there filming it or something, and then maybe still, if you still want to do some of those speeches, could you do those in a virtual way and like put together a video of like a montage of the flag being raised in your 3 speeches or something, and kind of putting out a package of something. So I think there are options if we figure out the technology.
You could even have fireworks that way.
Yeah, there you go.
And background music.
Let's see what Maureen. I don't know. That's my.
I think that, yeah. Let's see what Maureen finds out. So Maureen, thank you for checking on that. I think getting it up on June 1st is important. And so if we can't figure out the logistics, in a very good way, making sure that the flag goes up on June 1st is important, so that we have it up the whole month. And what we kind of say around it, we can figure that out.
Okay, it works.
Do we need to take a vote on the buying of the flags and which flag to
Yeah, I was just gonna. So just to review, it was 300 flags at 85 cents each.
Correct.
Is that right? Okay.
That's right. Yep.
And it would be 300 of one particular design, right?
No, they actually said we could mix those 2 designs.
Okay.
If we wanted to, yes. So the grand total of $300 includes $45 in shipping.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, do we want to limit it at 300? Do we want to get more?
No.
Is there any other? Well, we need to buy the books for Pride Month as well. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Were there any other purchases for Pride Month that didn't come up?
That's all we discussed.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, if anyone has a motion for the.
But let's back up for a second. So do we need to use all of our money by the end of June? Is that important?
We should use as much of it as possible, so that, I mean, the pandemic is going to throw everything off, because without that, the understanding is if you don't spend the full amount, then in the next budget cycle, when they're reviewing the budget, the idea is probably that they would say, well, they didn't need all of the money that we gave them the last time, so we'll give them 800 as opposed to 1,000. However, now that I don't think anyone is going to be getting the same amount of money that they got in the previous fiscal year, and Maureen, please correct me if I'm wrong on that. So I'm not as concerned about spending the full amount. However, we did go to bat substantially for this amount of money. So I think if there are other things that we could or should spending our money on, then we can.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think we need more stickers and buttons.
Yeah,
that we-
so a thought I had was, buy some stickers and buttons, or also, buy more flags and just, have them for future years or whatever. If we need to use the funds, it makes sense to, kind of go whole hog if that's the right thing to do to ensure that we are able to get funding when we need it for a more robust program.
Right.
Do we have a supply of buttons at the moment?
I think we're out. If we do, we might have like 10 or something left.
Oh, because I was just looking at mine that I have on my bulletin board. Those are really very nice. I think it would be nice to allow people to choose a flag and a button, or a flag or a button potentially, when we're handing out the flags.
Oh, are we talking about the Pride buttons? Or I was thinking we also could reorder the Pride buttons that we had made. And those, I don't know, Rich, I think you might have those.
That's what I was thinking.
Left over. But we also used to have the community of, Wakefield HRC buttons, which I think we're completely out of.
I was referring to the Pride button myself.
Yeah.
But.
Okay. So do we have any more of either of those? I know we don't have any more of the community ones. Do we have any more of the Pride buttons?
I think that those, Rich, go ahead.
I have one box of some stuff. I could go take a look if I jot over from the lake in my office. But I don't recall a ton of them anyway.
Okay. Because when and if Festival by the Lake, for example, comes back, or any of our events, those are always really popular. So I think it's worth ordering, if people, we can make a motion for this, but ordering both sets, the Wakefield community, the community buttons, and then also the Pride buttons.
And I think we're also out of our stickers too. I know we had the big ovals, but then I think I had made a pitch at some point a couple months ago. It's like, when we're ready to reorder, could we do, slightly smaller ones that could fit on shirts or something like that, rather than those, big ones, which are great for windows or cars.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
I don't think we'll have a problem with the budget.
Yeah. So maybe what we do is we order the 300 flags as planned, and then we take the next while, a month or whatever, to sort of study what we have, what we need, and then try to make at next month's meeting, authorize the ordering of what we need for the rest of the supplies.
But that meeting will be after June 1st, so that we can't do that anymore, right?
I thought we had to spend it by June 30th.
Yeah. It's
30th. I'm sorry.
The end of June.
But also, if we do want the Pride buttons,
right? That's another question. Yeah.
So we could, maybe we could vote on.
Amy, did you order those?
Flags and buttons.
I did the initial order. I don't think I did the second order.
I don't remember if that was Deirdre or Frankie who did the second order, because I don't have that login or information. But
I think it was Deirdre herself that did the second order.
Oh yeah, I think I gave her the info. Yeah, we got them through Affordable Buttons before, so. And I think
so if you have that login, could you just, is that artwork already uploaded and in your account or something?
No, I would have to go in and reselect. I don't have a saved thing, but I have the image on my computer, so I can go into Affordable Buttons, select the button size we want again, and then add the image. It's easy to do. But yeah, I don't have it saved just for a quick reorder.
Okay.
So let's, do we have a motion, first of all, to buy the flags?
Motion to buy the flags.
See, motion and a second. Okay. So we'll do the roll call. Pina.
Aye.
Matthew.
I'll get it right.
Aye.
Rich.
Aye.
Isabel.
Aye.
Benny.
Aye.
Chi-Chi.
Aye.
Sherry.
I can't vote yet. I haven't been sworn in.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we discussed this.
But I would say aye.
Okay. So the advice was to get in touch with Betsy at Town Hall tomorrow to see because they are still doing things at town hall, to see if maybe she can either sign you in over the phone or to see what the best way to approach this would be.
Okay.
Jen.
Aye.
And Amy.
Aye.
Okay.
I have a quick question about that. Am I supposed to be recording in the minutes how each individual votes, or is that just for the video recording?
That is an excellent question. I think, let's just say for the video recording, and then if we need to go back and record it, then we can just go up to the point in the recording where votes were, where the roll call was taken. So, okay. And do we want to make a motion to buy at least one shipment? Do you remember what the first batch, how many of the Pride buttons were in the first batch?
I think we ordered 200 or 250 at a time. And then we ordered like a second batch of another 250 or something like that.
I am looking at the minutes of last year, so you can keep talking. I let you know if I find the order.
Do we, with the flags though, do we need to vote on the Philly flag or the regular Pride or a mixture?
John. Yep.
Yeah, do we want to do, I'm open to suggestions. Do we want to do half and half? Do we want to do a different proportion?
I mean,
I would do all of one. I don't think I would do half and half. I think if we want to go with the Philly flag to sort of represent a more diverse community, I think we should just do that.
Do you think, and I'm not advocating right now one way or the other, do you think a lot of people know, I mean, maybe this is a way we can educate, maybe it's a Wisdom Wednesday topic of like, why do we pick the Philly flag instead of the other one?
Right.
I'm just wondering, are people going to know what that is? Or like, why do I get this one with, the stripes on it?
Right. And yeah,
that's just my question.
My concern is that it doesn't match the flag that we've raised.
Right.
So.
Well, I wonder if we could distribute, like with the flags, like staple to it or something, a little blurb that says like, what's this flag about? Like, this is why we chose this flag. This is why it doesn't match the flag that's raised in town hall. This is why it's great to celebrate no matter how you celebrate. I don't know, what's something,
Yeah.
I mean, somewhere in there, we're going to have to do, and we talked about this on the commission, we're going to have to do a media blitz about in the item and on social media about what we're doing and what it's all about. And that may be part of it, like different topics, and maybe it could be about what are the flags and what they're about and why are they different. So that could be a part of it.
I really love that part. I know it's $2, like ridiculously more expensive, but if we were going to do something other than the basic Pride flag, I'd really like to do that. So I don't know if we're voting yet, but I think I'm leaning toward the standard one, but I can be convinced to go Philly.
Okay. So do we do?
I feel like we need people to like advocate one way or the other. Who wants to convince me?
Well, so my argument in favor of the Philly flag would be that it's not as inclusive as we want to be, but it's trying to move in the right direction within the limitations that we have.
Which one is the Philly flag again?
So it has a black and brown stripe. So
okay.
It's the Pride flag you recognize
black, brown,
with the black and brown stripe at the top.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Whereas
you.
it doesn't have the chevrons on the left, which sort of are trying to incorporate the transgender identity, the gender identity aspect of it.
Okay.
Which is a really cool looking flag. Unfortunately, it's just not $2 a flag is a lot.
I'm gonna just share, just so you guys can picture this. Can you see my screen? So the Philly one has the black and brown on top, and then this one with the chevron is got the trans and other colors, which I like this version.
And the one with the chevrons is $2?
$2.50.
50.
Yep. And that's, that's the bargain price for when you buy 100 or more.
What a ripoff. How they get you.
Yeah. Yeah. 100 or more of those are $250 each.
Or this one's just plain stripes, but it's got the trans colors too, but that's, yeah. Anyway, so the choices would be this one or without the stripes, right?
Right.
Hi.
It's
Okay.
Human Rights
I'm
Commission.
gonna stop sharing.
So, I mean, another thought is, right, if we, I mean, I just don't think
Is
250
Amy Brando.
per
You're not
disposable flag is a good use of money.
Hi, everyone.
But if we, I mean, if we really wanted the, I guess it's called the progressive flag, you know, you just pay more for it and you buy less of them.
Gigi, what was your thoughts on like matching the flag?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm really torn, you know, because
That's
I
fair.
think, you know, I think the gay pride flag is just very recognizable and, you know, very easy for people to wrap their head around. And, you know, not that we, you know, we don't want to move from there. And so I don't know, there's, I mean, part of me wants to say, let's just stick with the regular rainbow flag for this year and have a discussion that and some movement forward for next year. But I'm certainly not opposed. I'm not opposed necessarily to a mix either. I mean, I'm thinking there could be a sign, you know, I was imagining a sign with each box or whatever it is we put them in, or table, you know, introducing them and encouraging people to take them, and, you know, that we would like them to display them and so on and so forth. And so we could, you know, we could describe very briefly each flag at that point as well if we wanted, and then people could choose. I don't know.
Do we run the risk, if we have like the two flags side by side, of people feeling like, if I take the regular rainbow flag, that they're going to think that I'm not
right,
inclusive of Black and brown people?
Right.
That would be my
That's an
concern. If we
excellent
put
point.
them right side by side next to each other, that people are going to, yeah.
Right. So that's why I think that you just pick one, and it's a flag use. Now the argument for you. So I argued on for having the Philly flag. My argument for, if I were to argue for the other one, is that in fact the rainbow is supposed to be inclusive to start with, right? And
Correct.
so it's you know, no person is purple, and no person, I mean, not that color purple anyway, and no person is blue, and no person is green. So the idea is that it's supposed to cover the whole spectrum, like that's what a rainbow is a spectrum of everybody already. And so you've already covered the idea behind the traditional pride flag is that it already covers the rainbow of people.
Very well said, Matthew. And I'm in complete agreement. That would be my choice.
Can you write that down, please, so that whoever writes the article can write that, please?
Somebody jot that down.
So I would say that, although I agree with that, I also think that using the Philly flag, my argument in favor of using the Philly flag would be that it opens up opportunities for dialogue and education around, you know, like, why would we use the Philly flag? What has been the history of sort of marginalization of Black and brown queer people in America? You know, like, not that we have to get like super detailed, but if we wanted to, if we were doing a Wednesday Wisdom, what's it called? Wednesday Wisdom?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that it would be, you know, as our role as the HRC, I think that would be like pretty nice. And gives us, kind of opens the door, you know, to have that conversation, which I think is an important conversation to have about inclusivity and marginalization, you know, in any context, and including in the context of queer rights, you know. So I'm in favor of the Philly flag because, like, I like the opportunity to open a dialogue. You know, I like it when people ask questions and it's like, well, let me tell you about this thing. Let's talk about it. And I think that's just like a nice a nice thing for us that helps us fulfill our role. I feel like I was going to say something else about that, but I can't remember what it was.
I like the idea of having that little, like, what you said, having a little something stapled to it or a little write-up or something that could go along with it. Because it also makes it a little more it takes more work on our part to one, write it up, and then two, to like staple everything or have it go together. But I think it helps us. It could help us with branding too, because we could put our name on it, our logo on it, on a little paper that goes with it, and promote. Even say, like, in recognition of celebrating Pride in Wakefield, we gift you this flag for these reasons, and this is why we chose this flag, kind of thing. So I think it could be a really cool addition if we have the time and materials and printer paper and ink and all the things that we also talked about to print out little half sheets or quarter sheets of paper to go along with the flags as we give them out.
So it seems like everyone's in agreement that we should go with one or the other.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. So do you want to do a show of hands for which one we're going to order, and then we can do a motion as to whether or not we actually order them? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So whoever is in support of ordering the rainbow flag, the non-Philly, the non-Philly flag, raise your hand. Okay. So we have one. And you see Isabel, Sherry, and Amy. Is that everyone? Okay. All right. And I'm going to include myself in that. All right. So that's 4. And then those in favor of the Philly flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So the Philly flag wins. So do we have a motion to order 300 of the Philly flags?
I move that we order 300 Philly flags.
I see a second. All right, so the roll call. Pina.
Aye.
And Matthew.
Aye.
Rich.
Aye.
Isabel. Benny.
Yeah, mute.
Yes.
Okay. She's on mute. But
Aye.
We heard your
Aye.
mouth saying aye. We watched your mouth say
Benny.
Yes. Aye.
Chi-Chi.
Aye.
Sherry.
Aye.
Jen.
aye.
Amy.
Aye.
Okay, and I realize I haven't voted in any of these, so I'm putting aye to that one too. Okay. Okay, so we can, the Pride Subcommittee wants to take care of ordering those. And then in terms of buttons, do we want to make—
look up the price of the affordablebuttons.com. I think the Pride ones were like 1.5 inch.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So they are, if you order more than 100, well, it only gives you like 1 cent off, but they're basically 32 or 31 cents each, between 1 and 300. So that equals like $50 for 100 and like $80 or $85 for 200 buttons.
Okay.
Or if we wanted 300, because we're ordering 300 flags, that would be $111.66.
All right.
So should we vote on doing that?
I'm sorry, how much was the total?
$112. I don't know. There might be shipping though too. So I haven't gotten that far, but say shipping is $20 max on the buttons, I would assume.
Okay.
130-ish.
All right. And that's for 300 buttons.
That would be for 300 buttons. Yeah.
Okay.
300 1.5 inch buttons. Now, if we did a different size, that might change. I don't remember. They were like 2-inch buttons or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm looking.
I can actually go.
I mean, the 2-inch ones go up to 120 from 111, so it's not that big of a difference. But I would just probably order whatever we ordered before if we could find that specification.
All right, so do we want to does someone want to make a motion to order 300 of either 1.5 or 2-inch buttons if we can figure out what
So, okay, I do have the
Let's say that's
photo
about an inch and a
buttons.
half.
The
Is it
buttons
inch and a
were
half?
the buttons were 1 inch and 3/4.
Okay.
Say Wakefield Cry, but it says photo buttons. Let me see if I can.
So 1 3/4 inch buttons, 300 of them is $115. So it's like I said, it's not that, and then plus maybe shipping.
I move that we order those.
I second.
Okay.
But I move that Amy uploads them because she did it before and has that.
I can do that. Oh, well, I don't, yeah, you'd have to send me whatever the design is. 'Cause I don't have it.
You don't have it still? Okay.
Oh, the Wakefield, the community Wakefield? Or
No,
Pride?
the Pride.
I'm
I
looking
don't
for
have
the.
that image.
I have the one from the flyer, but
I probably have it because we used it a lot on all the stuff for Pride last year. I just would want to make sure it's the. I can probably find it. I think Deirdre sent us the original.
sorry, this is what I have, but I'm looking. It wasn't this one, right?
No, Chichi showed it on her.
Yeah, you have
camera.
it there, Chichi.
I do. Yep.
I have the button upstairs too, but
I don't know if you all can see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Let me see if I find it.
Yeah, I think I probably have it. But anyway, I think we should. I think did we move? Matthew moved. I seconded. I think we should just vote to order them, and we'll figure
Okay.
out.
All right. Pina,
Aye.
Matthew,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Isabel,
Aye.
Benny,
Aye.
Ichi,
Aye.
Sherry,
Aye.
Jen,
Aye.
and Amy.
Aye.
And I also vote aye. Okay. So buttons, flags. Yay. All right. Anything else? Any other updates for Pride Month?
Maria, can I just add, it's not a voting thing. That calendar and the children's book game, whatever competition sounds great. Thank you for including me. I'm just going to make a little pitch that like if I could get a book recommendation or some like whatever you want me to do, you tell me, because I just I appreciate being included in there, but I just having Muslim ... doesn't like if you could take a little way of the burden.
Yeah.
Thank you for the inclusion. It feels a little and I know it's not the intention, but it feels a little tokenism. So like if you could find me a book to read or like whatever you want me to do, I will do it. But I just I'm just asking like, and before you reach out to some of the other folks on here, just kind of
we were actually, yeah, we should have asked you before, because instead of imposing, we wanted to know what is that you would like to share. But we can discuss that after the meeting or something, instead of telling you, because I mean, it will be, we thought that it would be very meaningful to hear it from you. You know what I mean?
I completely understand and I appreciate it. I when you ask people to do stuff, just like trying to make it as easy as possible. So like, saying to do like a meaningful Wednesday reading, like I just need more than that. So
okay. Yeah, no.
If it's finding me a book and telling me to read it, or any like, just would appreciate some parameters. And I'm again happy to participate. Thank you for thinking of me. Just like,
okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Right. Anything else for Pride Month? Nope. All right. Well, thank you for all the work that you guys are doing. Okay. The next, in terms of the non-appointed positions, specifically the clergy position, the student position, and police. So Matthew, at the last meeting, Matthew, you're staying on as the clergy representative. Is that right?
I think so, yep.
Okay. Amy, are you okay staying on as the police representative?
Yeah, it's part of the duties of my position. So as long as I'm in my position, it's me.
Okay. All right. Sorry, you're stuck with us. We're happy to have you though.
Happy to be stuck with you guys.
Okay. And then in terms of the student position, has anyone, I know Christina, we had asked Christina at the last meeting to I mean, I know she's not in school right now, so, but figuring out who the student representative is going to be. Does someone want to reach out to the high school to see if there's someone else in the wings that would be interested in participating? And I'm happy to do it if no one wants to do it.
I happen to be having frequent contact with the principal for other reasons. So I can add this to my list of things.
Okay.
If you want something off your table, Maria.
Okay. Yeah, and if that makes things, I don't know what your conversations are with the principal, but if that makes things awkward, or if things
No, it's okay. Yeah. Regular contact, Amy and I.
Okay.
We're on a regular basis, first name basis.
All right. I'm a little nervous for Amy, I think.
No, you should be more nervous for me. Thank
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Pina.
You're welcome.
And then for future meetings, two things. I know that we generally take one of the summer months off from our meetings, and wanted to see what people's thoughts were on that, and if you had a preference. I mean, I think definitely we'll keep the June one because of Pride. But in terms of July or August, does it make sense? Would people like to skip the July one? What do people think?
I think we might have to wait. I think we might have to wait to find out if anything more is open before we make those decisions. Can we wait until June to make that decision?
We could.
I mean, I know that all my summer stuff has been canceled, all the festivals, everything. So I can go either way. But in terms of my work schedule, because I'm still working, if things start opening up, that could make a difference.
Right.
So could we wait until the June meeting? Is that possible?
It is possible. Yep.
Can I'm trying to remember what we did last year. I think we might have skipped August, but I'm wondering if, after Pride Month, is there anything that we would want to meet for immediately afterwards to debrief or talk about that would maybe make us think, let's meet in July versus August, because of, for whatever reason that might be. That's my only.
Well, yeah, and we can certainly shelve this until the June meeting and see if people have a different, if we want to change that. So, all right, that sounds good. The other thing in terms of future meetings, and I'm completely open to people's opinions about this, but I know we've been meeting at the WCAT studio, but we're not filmed. So I didn't know if people were open to the idea of meeting at Town Hall. And I did check with Sherry. I haven't reserved anything yet, but I checked with Sherry Dalton to see if that was even a possibility. And the conference room is available on the third Tuesdays of every month. So what are people's thoughts on that? Penny?
I would totally love to meet at Town Hall because I bike everywhere and I don't find it very safe to bike from. This is like my own problem. So I appreciate, like, the whole committee does not need to like accommodate me, but I will just say it's not particularly safe to bike from WCAT across town, like east to west, west to east. So I would be in favor of meeting at Town Hall.
Okay, thank you.
And those of us who live in the middle of town could walk to the meetings.
Yes,
Yeah.
and a lot of us
For me, so.
are frequent clients of the library. Is next to it.
Yes.
I also just think it's nicer. I mean, I think the WCAT studio is very sterile and not very. It's not a pleasant environment to be in.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not being filmed, anyway.
And the chairs are really uncomfortable.
I've only met at the town hall. I think we did one time a couple years ago, and I think it's because there was a conflict. And I found that room to be quite. It was a large conference room, so we were all kind of in a circle, a rectangle instead of like a U shape. So it was a different dynamic, but I thought it went quite well.
Okay.
So I would be fine. I would be fine either way. I don't really care, but I would be totally fine with moving.
All right. All right. Do we have a motion to change our meeting locations to Town Hall going forward once Town Hall is open again?
Okay, motion.
All right.
Second.
All right. Thank you. Pina?
Aye.
Matthew,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Isabel,
Aye.
Benny,
Aye.
Chi-Chi,
Aye.
Sherry,
Aye.
Jen,
Aye.
Amy,
Aye.
and I also vote aye. So, all right. And all right, thank you, everyone.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, did somebody?
No, I was saying, wow, end of it, like, Rich leaves, we move locations. Big.
He's going to be sitting down by the park. It doesn't matter.
I'll just come over and do public participation.
That's right.
Yeah.
You
Closer
can
to the park
sell
that
from
way,
across
too.
the street. In terms of anticipated events, I just wanted to, I don't know if everyone was aware, the farmers market is still happening this summer, but it's substantially smaller. And one of the many changes that they're making just for this year is there's no table for nonprofits. So while we have been at the farmers market in years past, there's no opportunity for us to be there this year. And then we don't generally have any other, besides the Pride Month events. Past that, we don't usually have any summer events, but I would just love if people want to keep in mind potential events that, you know, for either end of summer or fall that we could do. Obviously, a lot of that is going to be impacted by where things stand, what's open, what's not open, but just things to keep in mind. In terms of matters not anticipated, one question that I had is, now that with the change of officers, who has access to the town, to the Human Rights Commission email?
If the password was never changed, I have it right here on my wall, but I don't actually look at it. Like, I don't go into it.
Okay. Yeah, I've never gone into it either. So it occurred to
Want
me
me to send you what I have?
I should probably be checking that. Okay.
I receive emails. I don't remember the password to send any emails out on it.
Okay. Yeah, Amy, if you wouldn't mind sending
Yep.
that would be great.
Sure thing.
So they just get forwarded to you, Pina? Is that how you receive them? Okay.
I think that was from the beginning.
Yeah, I
don't know.
get them forwarded also, but I since I haven't been an officer, I've never responded, not being the chair or vice chair. So
I think you have to request, I'm not sure through who to get them forwarded.
probably Sherry or David Watts set it up, but
Yes.
But I don't know who
Wow.
actually does it.
I just sent it to you.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, I'll check with Sherry and I can, yeah, I can let people know for myself and Isabel and Benny, if any of us want those forwarded, I'll check in with you about that.
Maria, I share with you the Google Drive with
Thank
our documents, but we still have to find out and decide how, if that's even legal. I don't see the problem, but it's something that we have to discuss because
Yeah.
like right now, at least they are in one place and we have what happened in International Women's Day this year and the past year, and we have Pride. So we don't have to be looking in people's emails or like a Rich that is leaving us right now and everything, you know. It will be nice if we have permission because we're not collaborating, right?
Right.
We're just
Well,
accessing.
Right, exactly. And that was the other thing that I was going to talk about is that I have been in touch with Sherry and with IT, and we're still working out the IT issues about having a common file that we can either share, whether it's through Google Docs or through something else. And I'm waiting to hear back from IT with some more clarification on that. But yeah, I mean, I think the concern in terms of the open meeting is if people are just viewing documents, that's one thing. If we're all mutually editing documents, depending on what the document is, then that could be considered deliberation. So that was, yeah, I think that's the thing that we need to just clarify and figure out how to approach that going forward. Because I think we do need a place that we can store documents, whether it's agendas or minutes or previous events, programs, stuff like that.
like specifically right now, like we need the logo that Deidre did, right?
Right.
And Jen and I were looking into our emails. We have the flyer. Like I will have to reach out to Deidre right now, and hopefully she has the stuff.
Yep.
So things like that. It will be nice if we cut those corners.
Yep. So I am definitely working on that, and I will hopefully have an update. We'll have an answer to that at the next meeting. So I don't think, did anyone else have, I have one more thing, but Benny, go ahead.
Yeah, I had a question. If anybody knows anything about this, I could be just like making some shit up. So in the paper the other day, this was last week, there was a police log like incident that I read it out loud to my husband. I was like, what in God's good name does this mean? And he pointed out that it could have to do with like COVID-19. So it says, a caller from Blue Jay Circle called police to report that her son was approached by an unknown woman who made accusatory statements regarding his race while taking photographs of him.
Oh,
so
I didn't see that.
Like, I don't know what the hell that means, but first of all, it sounds concerning. And I didn't know, because we had talked a couple months ago about this question of like, what would HRC's response be if there is like COVID-19 related racist events happening in town and things like that? And so I don't know if this is an example of that. It could be, it could just be like other types of racist events, but just thought I'd point it out and see if anybody has like thoughts or reactions.
So the article did not give any details about the background of the person who was harassed?
No, it's just from the police blotter, it's just like 2 sentences about like such and such police call happened on this day,
Can I just make what we have found out, that is, generally it's like Mark Sardella's abbreviation interpretation already read in the police
that is
log.
word for word what was written in the log by the dispatcher. That is what was recorded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Amy, are you able to shed any light on this at all?
I don't know that I can. The reporting party just wanted the incident logged. Where it involves a minor, I'm not sure what I can share about it. There's no charges or anything like that. But I'm not sure what I can share about it. I have to check with my chief first. So I'm just reading here. Sorry, first day back yesterday, folks.
That's okay. All right. But thank you for raising that, Benny, and letting us know about that.
So I think to further Benny's question though, like say, well, one, I mean, I don't know, the police department doesn't owe us anything to say like, hey, we had these events of racism or something like that, but how would we know about stuff like that without finding it out in the paper potentially? And or if there were charges filed, would that be something that we would then be able to know about so we can address it or make a statement about it? Or
no, I mean, if there's a crime committed against someone and charges are filed, that's core information. We wouldn't, the police department wouldn't be able to share it. I mean, if something's public record, like a call log is public record, certain things down at the court are public record, but if we charge someone with a crime, unless it's in the paper, I can't say, yep, so-and-so was charged. The media comes in and meets with the deputy chief each morning, so he shares what can be shared with the paper. But I'm not allowed to disclose anyone's core information if someone was charged. Mm-hmm. So.
I'm thinking the stuff that we've got involved in is all destruction of property, like symbols on things, not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, and
people.
I feel like the issue had come up before when there was maybe an incident in the school, but there's something on there are definitely hate incidents and then hate crimes. Looking at this, it doesn't appear that there was a crime committed, but it would maybe fall under hate incident. But it's pretty vague, and it looks like the person just wanted this logged in case something happened in the future, but. I don't know if that's helpful, but.
No, that's definitely helpful. Thank you. Okay.
I think it's really hard to have a response to something that's so vague that we don't really know what happened and the exact circumstances. We could certainly talk about how destructive and hurtful it is to engage in racist hate speech. Yeah, of course. I think one thing sort of isolated without a lot of facts is pretty hard though to sort of offer how you offer it.
I'm thinking there was something that we kind of, I don't remember exactly because I wasn't on, the chair, vice chair, but I think you guys got involved in something in the past, but it was where people reported something like to the HRC and was like, hey, this thing happened. What are you guys going to do about it? And so then I think if people are calling in on us, then there might be something we could.
And I think,
I don't know, but this is just something we read about in the paper. I don't know how we.
Well, I think, and I'm trying to literally hear Bob Vincent's voice with this, but I feel like he would say that our function, if someone filled out the complaint form that's supposed to be available at Town Hall in the Public Safety Building and filed it with us, then I don't know whether it would be officers or everyone would review it and then say, this would go to, the Commission of Massachusetts, and I'm forgetting the acronym right now, whether we direct them there, or if it looked like a crime had been committed, whether we refer them to the police department to report the crime. And those are really our two, it's really more just of a referral than us taking action. But obviously since then we've come out with like a statement, like we can just put out a general statement. But in terms of the commission, like hearing facts and actual matters and trying to remedy them, I don't think that was part of the commission's function. Right. But obviously where this is in the paper, people saw, it's vague. I don't know if this is something that the commission feels we put out that generalized statement about it. If there's enough, because that's all that was reported. So I'm sorry, that's annoying. I'll mute myself.
Thank you, Amy. What? Sorry, I thought somebody said something. Okay. But yeah, I think it's important that we kind of keep an eye on things, especially if they could be related to discrimination related to COVID-19. And similar to the case that happened about a year ago with the destruction of property, no one made a direct report to us, but we did reach out to the victim to say, are you okay with making a statement? So if it's something that rose, this is obviously different because there was a minor involved and it's more vague. And so I think it's we stay aware of.
Jenny, does that answer your question or you feel?
Yeah, I didn't have any particular outcome that I was thinking about. I just wanted to bring it up and, food for thought or something to chew on a little bit.
All right.
Cool.
And I think so for just responding to this one would be is hard because we don't have a lot of facts. If it were happening all the time, often, then I think a response would definitely be warranted on our part, right? And if it's becomes a thing, and it's not just one person being a jerk, not that you discount that, right? Because I don't want to discount just one person being a jerk, but it's just hard to know how to respond.
Yep. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. Anyone have any other matters before we have a big finish? All right. So this is Rich's last meeting, I believe. I know we're still working on replacing his replacement.
I was going to stay on until June just to see us through Pride Month.
Well, we weren't sure. So Pina graciously took it upon herself to prepare a going away gift for you.
Yeah.
So I am going to share my screen. Hold on just a second.
Well, it's from everybody.
It's from everybody, yeah. But Tina was the ringleader. Okay.
Look at that.
Without further ado.
Maria, every time you share your screen, I lose everything.
Oh,
Ah, I can't get back in now. Oh, well.
I'm sorry.
Still there.
Hi, Rich. HRC comes to an end. I've written a little poem for you. Without further ado, our good friend Rich is stepping down to tend to matters about the town. Though he won't be sitting on the HRC, among our founding fathers, he will always be. So before I get accused of an open meeting violation, all my thanks I send to you with no further deliberation. Thank you so much for everything you've done, and good luck in all of your future endeavors, and we'll see you around town. Thanks so much. Take care.
That was an excellent poem.
Hey, Rich, it's been awesome working with you the past 4.5 years. Myself and the entire commission is going to miss you very much. I hope you have a great summer, and I wish you the best going forward, and I'm sure we will see you around. Bye.
Oh, Rich, what is it now? Oh, jeez. Rich, I can't believe that your time is done. All right, you did great. I'll admit it. You were fabulous. I don't know who's going to say oi to me anymore on HRC. I'm going to miss that. And who's going to catch me whenever I stumble with my words. But I'm sure there'll be some fine replacement to laugh and mock me. But it's been so good to come back and do something else with you after raising our boys through elementary school and now seniors together. You're going to be great on the Wakefield community page and in all the other service you do through the town. We'll see you again. All right, keep that cape on. Bye.
Hey, Rich. Thank you for making me feel welcome on the HRC and helping me settle into my role and being my sensei for the MLK Day celebration. It's been wonderful working with you over the past year. So we're going on to great things. I'll see you around someday.
Hey, Rich, it's Jen. I just wanted to thank you for all your guidance and leadership in your time with the Human Rights Commission and my time on it, even before I joined it. And just want to wish you well in whatever you go on to do. I know you'll still be involved in the town, and I look forward to seeing what you accomplish and hope that you stay in touch. Thanks.
Hi, Rich. Steve Mayo here. Want to wish you all the success as you leave the Human Rights Commission. I remember the early days when we met in the police chief's office and went through some applications and how we would handle them all the way to the end. I hope that you enjoy some time with your wonderful and wonderfully talented family and find some new adventures. And I know that when we need you for any town business, you'll be there. Thank you and take care. Thank you.
I really screwed this up, didn't I?
Probably gonna mess this up. Hi there, Rich. I hardly even got to know you, and you're already leaving us. In the short time I have got to know you, though, I was very impressed by your leadership and your courtesy and your helpfulness, and I am really sorry I won't get to work with you, but all the best in everything you do in the future. I think you left your organization in really good shape after all the years of hard work. Bye now.
Hey, Rich, we are really going to miss you on the Human Rights Commission, but we are so grateful for your leadership and look forward to your continuing leadership in town. And we know we'll see you often. And we just wish you a great summer and a wonderful time with your family in the months ahead. Bye.
Hi, Rich. I learned a lot from you. Thank you for your kindness and patience. And I wish you the best in whatever you want to do next. And thank you for really trying to make the world a better place.
Hey, Rich. I just want you to know I got all dressed up for the occasion. I'm wearing my Scooby-Doo shirt. I hope you appreciate that. we're of the same generation. I thought you would like it. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your leadership for WHRC. I'm really grateful that I became a commissioner during your time. So I haven't gotten to know you very well, but it's been very obvious that you are a man who's dedicated to fostering kindness and goodness and justice in our world and in our town. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you do in your next ventures, all the things that come. I'll see you in the newspaper. I'll see you at meetings. And see you around Greenwood. So peace.
Hey Rich, it's Rabbi Greg. I was so touched by your leadership in the Human Rights Commission that I was moved to write this song. Fighter for human rights, ridding Wakefield of its blight, helping people live together and leading meetings Tuesday night. A smiley guy who's about my height. He cares about others and helping minorities see the light. Rich, oh Rich, helping out in Wakefield scratches your itch. Rich. Get your wish. Human Rights Coalition will never pay your kids' tuition, but in your time as chair, you brought so much into fruition. You are loved and hard to replace. You gave HRC a beautiful face. Everyone knows and respects you. I'll make the case that you've been HRC's ace. Rich, oh Rich, helping out in Wakefield, scratching your itch. Rich, oh Rich, someday there'll be no strike and you'll get your wish. HRC has lost a leader, but we'll always appreciate you. In recognition of your work, I drop thee an honorary due. Rich, oh helping out in Wakefield scratches your itch. Rich, oh Rich, someday there'll be no strife and you'll get your wish.
Oh, it's the new Adam Sandler.
All right, nice.
That was so excellent.
Awesome.
Wasn't that funny, Rabbi Greg? Like just that song, it sticks in your head. Watch out.
That is really great. Thank you, everyone. That's really nice of you. As I've been passing stuff off to Maria, I've been going through our whole history. I should really thank our founding mother over there, Tina, for working so closely together over this time. We've had a lot of good laughs. But really, most importantly, I think back, it has been 4.5, almost 5 years, just how much this group collectively has done for the town, just how many firsts there have been, from MLK Day, Women's Month, Pride Month, all the different topics that we've brought to town for people to really think about and reflect on. All of those things our town never really had before, which was amazing, and all the ways that we've been able to celebrate people from all walks of life has been really, really great, and it's been a great journey to share with everyone. If there's anything that I've really learned that's been huge for me is just to really listen to people and their challenges and struggles, and what may seem common to us is very much a challenge for many people, whether it was seeing the pride that people had at a lot of our pride events, thinking they never thought they'd see this day in Wakefield, or hearing some of our speakers talk at MLK Day and the struggles that they still have today. Things aren't equal and the same for everyone. I wish they were, but I think we've done a lot to really try and make Wakefield just a much more welcoming and inclusive place, and to give people, even though it's hard to change a lot of people's minds, I think we've given a lot of support and comfort and encouragement to people from all walks of life that make them feel better about being part of our community and being really proud of who they are, and that they can be that way in our town. So it's been a wonderful learning experience for me, and it's been great to work with all of you. I certainly am never quiet in town, as most of you know. Hopefully you'll see my name in the paper for good reasons, not Amy picking me up from the police blotter. But it's really great. I'm sure you'll continue to do great work, and I hope to stay involved, and we'll obviously keep cheering on your work. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.
All right. Anybody have any other matters not anticipated? And if not, is there a motion to adjourn? Oh, sorry. Should we go over the action list? Sorry.
Yeah, let's see what I got here. I sort of forgot about the action list until partway through the meeting, so tell me if I missed things. What I have is Maureen will talk to the town council about the size of the flag raising ceremony. Isabel will get the button design from Deidre and send it to Amy. Amy will order the buttons. I don't know who's in charge of ordering the flags.
Chichi.
Yes,
Okay.
I am.
Chichi will order the flags. Tina will contact Principal McLeod about our student commissioner. Amy will send the email password to Maria for our email account. And Maria will contact Sherry Dalton about forwarding the HRC emails to whoever's appropriate.
Can someone send Chi-Chi the form for reimbursement, like the town form for reimbursement, so she can get that done? I don't, I thought I had more, but I don't.
Yep.
I
And
think Sherry emailed it to me. I could probably find it in my email.
if you can't find it, I had asked her about the reimbursement process, and she said to just email her. So
Yeah.
maybe when you email her, she then sends you the form. I'm not sure.
That's what she did for me.
Okay. But yeah, whoever needs to be reimbursed. Isabel, I have that other reimbursement that you texted me about ages ago, and I will send that to you. I'm sorry. But for anyone going forward that needs to be reimbursed, yeah, just email Sherry Dalton at Town Hall, and she'll take care of it for you.
Oh, directly?
Yeah.
Okay. But we should copy you because you're still the treasurer and you know how much. Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Okay. Yep.
So just because we're all together, I text Deirdre about the buttons, but Amy, if you have the order in your email too, I was looking through my Facebook account, and apparently Deirdre ordered them, and then Frankie got them. I wrote Frankie too, but I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't order them. I don't have the image. I didn't order the
Oh, you
prize
don't?
ones. No.
Okay, this is Deirdre's answer. I'm pretty sure I have it, back it up somewhere. I'll find the email to you, and well, a lot of love message from her. She says hi to all of you. That was it.
Okay. All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Last roll call, I promise. Tina.
Aye.
Matthew.
Aye.
Rich.
Aye.
Isabel.
Yes.
Benny.
Hi.
Chi-Chi.
Aye.
Sherry.
Yes.
Jen.
Aye.
And Amy.
Aye.
And myself, aye. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see everybody.
Good night.
Nice meeting, Maria.
Bye, Rich.
Bye.
Bye.
Rich.
Hi, Maureen.